Great decorating is all about the details, including a gorgeous textured set of coasters. How we love a coaster. Functional. And why not be beautiful? Quince has a gorgeous set of woven rattan coasters in 3 terrific colors with their own little holder that you're going to absolutely love. And if you haven't visited quince.com/DTT yet, get on over there. It's everyday elevated living without the markup. From crisp 100% linen bedding and soft organic cotton towels to airy curtains and premium kitchen tools designed for everyday use. And the best part? Like Quince's clothing, their home goods are half the cost of similar brands. By partnering with top artisans, Quince cuts out the cost of the middleman and passes the savings on to us. And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes. Elevate your space with home essentials from Quince. Go to quince.com/DTT for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's Quince, QUINCE.com/DTT to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/DTT. Hey everybody, it's Kelly Wilkness here with Anita Joyce, and this is Decorating Tips and Tricks. Today is another DTT Plus episode where you get more of us. These are the bonus episodes that we've been adding in on the tail end of the month, usually on the last Friday. I hope you've been enjoying them. Today, we're going to talk about a topic that I wouldn't say it's near and dear to my heart. It's more near and fear to my heart.
Yeah, well, I would also call it near and dear. You have been talking about these pink light bulbs since the beginning in 2017.
I have been, because that's just how good they are or were.
And I bought a bunch at the time.
Well, by the time you got on the pink bulb train, things had changed a little bit, but they were still good. So let's talk about the pink light bulbs today, the ones that I have loved and now we've all lost. If you didn't get turned on by the pink light bulbs earlier on, you're still going to enjoy this episode because there's a lot of great information about the type of lighting you should be seeking out now. And as far as your pink light bulb lovers out there, we should probably have a little comfort group, a little support group, because it is very sad that they are no longer, but there's always hope. There are a lot of entrepreneurial spirits out there in the world, and I'm sure that somebody will come up with a really good pink alternative that we can embrace. But for now, we need to know the what, the why, and the what's next for great lighting.
Watts. Is that what you were saying?
The watts. You're so clever. So Anita mentioned that I have been talking about pink light bulbs since 2017, well, on the podcast, but I have been using pink light bulbs for my whole adult decorating career. I really can't tell you who mentioned them to me first or how I got onto them, but they have made a big difference in my decorating and the way my houses have been lit for all these years. Now, it goes back to even Dorothy Draper. In her book, Decorating is Fun, suggests using pink light bulbs. So pink light bulbs and their allure have been around for a long time. What has happened in the last couple of years is that the pink light bulb, along with all incandescent bulbs, have been phased out. And as of July 31st, 2023, a sad day for pink light bulb lovers, there will no longer be incandescent bulbs made or sold in the USA. So,
government overreach at its best.
Well, however you feel about that, I'm going to explain to you why. It softened the blow of the loss of the incandescent when I understood how this is going to impact us for the positive as a whole, but it is a little hard when you get down to your last pink light bulb and I'm literally walking around my house deciding
I did grab a bunch of incandescents when they first went out. I grabbed a bunch, but now I can see I didn't get enough. And it's like they know that blue light is so bad for people. So why are they cutting out all our sources of yellow light so that we're just stuck with a bunch of very harsh blue light, which is not good for humans?
That's absolutely true. And my daughter's wearing blue light glasses because they're on their computers all the time and things like that. But if you listen to the end of this episode, you are going to have a good alternative. I've done a lot of research on this.
Well, I'm excited to hear what you have to say.
Okay, so let's learn about the sort of the why, right? Before we get to the what's, ha ha ha. So why are the incandescents now outlawed? Because they're going to save $3 billion in electric bills, so says the Department of Energy. They're going to trim carbon emissions by 222 million metric tons over the next 30 years. So that's a good why we're doing this. We need to talk about the what and the what next. And I think it's good to understand why we loved incandescents so much. Thank you, Thomas Edison, of course, but they were not very long lasting. They are not very efficient.
They do heat a lot. They do add a lot of heat to the air, but how are you going to bake a cake in your Easy Bake Oven with an LED light bulb that has no heat to it?
You're absolutely right, because in an Easy Bake, I believe that you do have to have a full-size bulb, but appliance bulbs are not under the ban. But I'm getting a little off. Let me get back to where we were going first. But the Easy Bake is a good point.
So we just need to start using appliance bulbs everywhere? Is that what you're saying?
Appliance bulbs everywhere. No. So what is banned? The regular incandescent and the pinks. Halogens are also banned. And the time is ticking on the compact fluorescent light bulb.
Well, those are dangerous and ugly. And the light from them is hideous. So I'm not sorry to see those compact fluorescents go. And, you break one, God forbid you're exposed to the fumes. It's very dangerous. So
I believe there's some mercury in those too. Not good at all.
So if they said this was good for the environment, they lied to you because they're not.
Right. Well, they weren't, for sure. So what now is exempt from the ban? Chandelier bulbs. If you've got a lot of chandeliers, go get yourself some incandescents while you can, because at the end of 2024, they will probably be banned as well. But this is for right now. Christmas lights, grow lights, and quote unquote specialty bulbs. Now, I guess I'm just an optimist. I felt that pink light bulbs, the beautiful conch shell, soft pink, would be a specialty bulb because they are special to me.
Well, they are special, yes. And these people are not consulting us. We are not being consulted on these decisions.
No, I should have been on Capitol Hill and making some sort of declarations about this. But no one asked. Appliance bulbs, the tiny little appliance bulbs, they're also not part of the ban right now. We don't need to get into too much of the lumens, because of watts and the regulations, but just know that right now, the limitation is 45 lumens per watt. By the end of 2024, the bulbs are going to have to be so efficient that their level is 120 lumens per watt. Now, don't get cross-eyed with that, because I'm going to get back to that and explain to you what the lumens and the watts are in a little bit. But just know that right now, incandescents are banned and are no longer being made. And you can't even bring them into many states. My beloved California will not let them come across state lines. So even if you find some on eBay I saw some for $55 a bulb for some of these pink bulbs, right? So I'm not alone out there, okay? And I guess if they have them up there, somebody might be paying something like that. So why LED? Because they are using 1/4 of the energy and they last 25% longer. They're made of plastic, not glass. They don't get as hot, as Anita mentioned. And what does LED even mean? It's light emitting diode. Now, Does that sound as nice as soft conch shell pink bulb? No, it doesn't.
Does not. No.
But that's where we're at. So we're going to have to understand it, educate ourselves, and then make the best choices that we can right now. And if you didn't stockpile the pinks and you're down to your last two, like somebody I know, then you're really going to want to listen up to this whole
I don't
episode.
have many left. I'm not sure I have. I don't know. I'm going to have to go check my stock. And I don't know. I may just have to buy a large barn and stock up.
Well, I think it's too late, Toots. You know, that ship has sailed.
Well, but you're saying I can still get the chandelier bulbs for a while.
Yes, but I would act now. Mm-hmm. Now, if there was an equivalent to the incandescent in an LED, I'd be totally cool with it. So if somebody wants to come up with that, GE, Sylvania, whoever's left out there wants to come up with that, a new company wants to start, Anita, we could do this. I would be all on board. So what is it about incandescent bulbs that really lights my fire? Well, here's what happens. With incandescent, in the inefficiency, in the hotness, and all of that, the goodness that's happening is it radiates light across the full visible spectrum. It goes far into infrared, similar to the light from the sun. Mm-hmm. So it is warm and familiar. And then you add this little shade, this hue of this beautiful sort of inside of a shell pink to it. And it's just beautiful. Now, LED light is concentrated toward the blue end of the spectrum, where incandescent is concentrated more towards it's showing the full visible spectrum, but the beauty in the incandescent is as you dim it, and you know you want to dim it, it goes to the redder end of the spectrum.
Well, and the interesting thing too, and you'll know this if you've ever taken a picture of a room with incandescent lighting on, the room starts looking yellow. I mean, and that's the problem that people had for years with photography. If they did not use a flash, is the whole room would end up looking yellow. So not great for photography, but your eye would not see that yellow until it was in a photo. If you're in the room, it's another one of those things where you don't notice something that your camera does, but it is better for your health to have that yellow light, as you say. And like you said, the full spectrum too as well.
Right. And it's just cozier. You know, it's more mimicking of the sunlight. It's also more like firelight as you dim it. And that is just all really pleasing to us humans. And the pinkness, it just makes everyone look good. Mm-hmm. Not only does your furnishings look good, but you look good. But, you know, this is the bygone day and we just need to move on. So the LED is concentrated towards the blue end of the spectrum. The warm LED shifts to red, making it appear a little bit more natural. So there is some hope there with the warmer LED. But as I mentioned, the dimmer of an incandescent gets redder, and the LED dimmer, the light spectrum remains the same. So it's kind of less appealing, right? Mm-hmm. So why doesn't LED light up my life the way I want it to? Because of the bluishness. It's incompatible with a lot of dimmers. And sometimes you find that they were flickering. Now, this has gotten a lot better, but I remember when we were first renovating here, and that was about 8 years ago, nine years ago. It took a little while. So, but by the time we got to the electric, let's just say LEDs were really becoming more of the thing. And the dimmers hadn't caught up. So we had a real problem with my electrician just bringing in a regular old dimmer and then putting in an LED light, which I was telling him not to do anyway, but I was telling him all dimmers, and there was incompatibility. So some of my lighting had real issues with the dimmers not working, and we had to sort of retrofit them with different dimmers. But now the dimmers have caught up. You want to definitely check if you're putting in LEDs, which you're going to have to be doing, that the dimmer that you're using is up to date and compatible with an LED. Because
wow, so
it
if
wasn't
you already
even
have a dimmer that might not work with the LEDs.
Yeah, it wouldn't dim.
Oh,
if you slide the dimmer toggle down, whatever kind of dimmer you have, it would just go from like really no change to off. It really wasn't dimming. There was nothing like that
So if we
happening.
want some nice warm lighting, it looks like now, unless you have a solution you're coming up with, I mean, we're talking candles.
Yeah, and well, we do love candles.
Going back in time.
Hey, we'll be right back with the rest of the show, but keep listening so we can continue bringing you DTT. I can't stop using dupe.com. This is an amazing website, service, best friend. I absolutely love it. So you find something that you really want and it's too expensive, it's a budget buster. Then you use dupe.com and you can find almost the exact thing or very similar products for much less. So I was crushing on this incredibly gorgeous coffee table. I had it in my mind, I had it in my Pinterest boards, I had it everywhere, but I just didn't have it in my house because it was too expensive. When I learned about dupe.com, that was the first product that I tested. And boy, did I find some amazing dupes. And I purchased one. So the original was almost $3,000. And Dupe showed me many choices, all the way down to under $200. Now, you may think something this extraordinary is hard to use, but it's so easy. Just type dupe.com/ before any product URL in your browser, and boom, it instantly finds you less expensive alternatives. They even have an app and a browser extension you can download. No account required, no sign up required. It's completely free. That's completely free free to use. Stop wasting your money on brand names and start saving with dupe.com today. We want to get educated on what we want. So now we understand, like, what was it about Incandescent that really was appealing and what to look for in this new lighting landscape that we have in order to get what we want, right? So I want to lower my energy bills. Sure. I want to reduce my carbon emissions, of course. And I do all these things as an organic gardener. I live in California. I mean, of course, I want to support all of these great innovations in being more sustainable. But I just want lovely lighting too. And I say, it might not be too much to ask. We might be able to pull it off. So let's learn a little bit about the bulbs themselves, which is really important because I don't know if anybody's tried to buy bulbs in the last couple of years, but it's super confusing. There's almost too much information on those boxes. It's hard to know what you're making the right choice or the wrong choice. I have a small bin of bulbs, and I kept my pink ones separate, of course. But I just had this small bulb of regular incandescents and some chandelier bulbs and the random LED thrown in there. Went through it while I was getting ready for this episode, and it was just sort of all over the place. Like, what is in here? What is a lumen? How does it compare to a watt and all of this? So let me just run through this with you so you can learn about these things and then you can make the right choices for yourself. So first, let's start with the bulb base. The regular bulb base of a typical incandescent bulb is an A19. I don't know why they named it that, but that's what it is. That's the size that fits into the socket. Now, don't worry. The LEDs are not going to change the bases. The bases are going to be the same so they can fit into light fixtures and lamps that you already have. The A19 is that typical size when you think of a regular standard light bulb. Then there's also there's a 12, which is the chandelier size. So there's a lot of different sizes. You just have to be familiar that there's going to be a different size bottom, especially if you're purchasing online. Then you've got the brightness, which now is the lumens rather than the wattage, right? So 450 to 800 lumens is sort of decorative lighting. So maybe it's that table lamp that you have over in the corner. And then 800 to 1100 is residential. Now, I feel like for me, residential is probably going to be too bright. I'd rather have more lamps and different sources of lighting than one really bright light. But maybe if you're using it for a task light, this range might be good for you. So if you can get a sense of how wattage and lumens compare, 800 lumens, so that's sort of the top of the decorative range, equals a 60 watt bulb. And then we've got color temperature, and that's measured in kelvins. And the warm white is 2,700 to 3,000 kelvins. So that's something you'll want to look for. I don't think any of you listening here want to buy a blue light bulb. Maybe for a desk light, but probably not, because you probably have a computer on anyway. So I would stick in this warm white range. And then there's a color quality index, and that's the CRI, color rendering index. And you want to look for something that's 90 plus. All of this, for good or for bad, will probably be on the bulb box these days, right? And then you want to check to see whether it's dimmable. I pulled out of my little light bulb bin a set of bulbs that I bought that were said 40 watt. I probably bought them on Amazon. I didn't realize that they said non-dimmable on them. Well, I don't want those, right? So you got to check all of these things so you know what you're getting. And even knowing all of this, it still might not be the right kind of light. So you're going to have to play around with it. So now that you know what you want and understanding what's out there, there is a bulb that I'm hanging my hopes on. I ordered it, haven't gotten it yet, but I will report back. It was mentioned in a Wirecutter article about the new LEDs and in two other places, trusted places. It's the Philips Ultra Definition 60 watt replacement A19 dimmable LED with warm glow effect soft white. Now,
how much is this?
It's only like $3.50 a bulb.
Okay.
You can buy it in packs of 2 or 4. So or maybe it was 4 or 8. I went for the smallest pack I could get.
So does this have the full spectrum of light like we used to get in incandescent light?
No, they're just not going to do that. But they're trying to get as close as possible. So this one has been mentioned in, as I said, these 3 different places as the one that gets as close to incandescent light. Now, nobody's mentioning getting close to my soft conch shell pink, but we're just, hopefully we'll get there someday. But now,
have you thought about painting them pink?
You know, it's funny. I got an email maybe a week ago. Somebody had heard me talking about the pink light bulbs on one of the episodes, and she emailed me and suggested that it's very dangerous. Even with the LEDs, they do kick off some heat. I think it would be a bad idea.
You mean because of any kind of VOCs in the paint?
Could be VOCs in the paint, or it could just use, you've got paint adhered to something that's heating up all the time. You know, I just think it's a bad idea. People, I checked into it and I thought, oh, there's a thought. But no, and several sources have mentioned that would be a bad idea, even though they don't get as hot as an incandescent bulb would. It's just not a great idea. So these bulbs are supposed to, these Philips Ultra Definition, and this is not a brand sponsor. I have no idea. I just got my fingers crossed. These bulbs are supposed to get redder and warmer and dim, mimicking incandescent dimming. It's cultivating. This is directly from, I think, from Philips' website, or maybe it was from the Wirecutter person who did the analysis. Quote, cultivating that delicate ambiance of dimmed mood lighting. End quote.
So have you bought them yet? Have you tried them?
No, I purchased them over the weekend, and I'm waiting for them to arrive, and I will report back as to what I think. But there's nobody out there making LEDs that have the soft pink. Now, I don't know why they're not, but I think that if enough of us make noise, we can get this to happen. Maybe it'll be just a lighting panacea. It'll be great for the environment.
I think we just stop using them, go to candles until they meet our demands. Then we'll think about buying the light bulbs again.
I think we'll just, everything will just grind to a halt while we're all sitting around our candles.
We're grinding to a halt, baby.
Yes.
That's right.
Don't be swayed by the pink bulbs that are out there, because there are people that are aware that a lot of people want pink bulbs, but they're producing party bulbs or Barbie bulbs. They are not producing bulbs for your dream house. They are not right.
So what's the matter with them? What are you saying? They're making them...
They're too pink. They look like Roxanne put on the red light. No, they're magenta.
Oh, dear. That's not right.
So if you have not experienced pink bulbs, I'm sorry that you didn't have that opportunity while it was available to you. But you did not discern the pinkness when the bulb was on. It was just a very warm, soft glow, which made everybody look fabulous.
It was very subtle. I mean, that's what was so nice. I mean, yeah, you don't want it to look like a Christmas light. You don't want it to look red or dark pink. You don't want it to be noticeable. You just want a soft glow. I'm 100% with you on that. So is it too much to ask?
Well, I hope not. But don't make the mistake of trying to get pink bulbs on Amazon now, because it's just not what you want, right? And these smart bulbs, they're just not smart enough, okay? And I don't want to have to go to my phone on an app and then fiddle around. I just want to turn the light on and have it be pretty, right? And the range of those smart bulbs is much more like a party than being inside a conch shell. And I don't want any part of that.
We're just minding our own business. We want our light bulbs.
Yes.
Is it too much to ask for life in some way to go on like it used to?
Exactly. And I don't want you to worry about if you have... Obviously, if you have existing lighting in your home, everyone does. But particularly if you have antique fixtures like antique chandeliers or lamps. Yeah, they will all work with LEDs. It's not like your lamp's going to blow up or something like that. This is just going to be a trial and error period until we can find a good one. And hopefully this Philips bulb will be fine for the duration. And then in a couple of years, we'll be laughing that Kelly was crying about the pink bulbs, because I'm sure they'll be perfectly wonderful conch shell pink LEDs out in the universe that we can all buy. Because when there's a need or a want, usually someone fills that. So I have hope.
Yes, hopefully. Yes, I hope. Yes, let's be hopeful that we can have our pink light bulbs again. This is no small deal. It sounds silly and funny, but it's really not good.
Lighting is crucial. Okay, there's nothing silly about this.
This is not a trivial topic.
Not at all.
Well, thanks for bringing this to light, Kelly.
Oh, we could just go on and on. But we have to sign off.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, I think this is a very interesting topic, and it was a good discussion about what's going on there. This is happening, so we don't want to have our heads in the sand and not address it, because, it is something happening out there. So thanks so much for hanging out with us. We hope that this was helpful information. And remember, we are here to inspire you to create a beautiful home. Until next time.
Want to talk to us? Well, we really want to talk to you. So let's schedule a design consult. Anita and I are here to give you individualized, actionable advice on how to create the beautiful home you want and deserve. It's so easy to schedule a design consult with us. Simply click the link in the show notes or head to decoratingtipsandtricks.com/consult. When we talk to you on the scheduled time, we will be ready with so many great tips, advice, and yes, tricks. So sign up today for a design consult. We can't wait to talk to you.